To successfully promote a good performing employee to a manager role, it's crucial that you provide management training. I'll explain why in this video. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips on leadership, management, and employee performance in the workplace. I've seen this very often where a great performing employee is promoted to a manager position. They may be the best performing salesperson or technician or customer service person, and now you make them a manager. Well, the role is very different. My last video, I published a complete list of responsibilities that come with a manager's role. And often business owners or leaders that haven't gone through their own management training, or even if they have, will make the mistake of not providing that comprehensive training, formal training to a manager. They'll coach them along the way, which is great, but that is not really the ideal situation. Training provides the framework, the understanding in a safe environment of what that role entails and how to work on the skills that they need to be effective in dealing with people. Not only dealing with people, but also adapting to the managerial tasks that come with the role, things like planning, measuring, controlling, budgeting, if you give that authority. And of course, dealing with people is even more challenging because you have all these unknowns with personalities and things that the person may inherit from the past or that will just come along the way, and they need to be able to handle these difficult situations as they arise. So management training, along with your coaching, is really what's required. Now, to promote somebody to the role, I always recommend using a psychometric assessment that uses job fit technology. And of course, I'm going to talk about our PXT Select because I've seen it in action. I've seen companies just hiring people that have no management training and promoting somebody without providing the training, and how it just ends up in the person not really performing the role. And when you think about it, what is the role of a manager? It's really to support the team members, and is to fill their needs so the team members can really do their job the best they can. But I printed out a sample reports from a person that I actually had worked with. I'm not going to name names, of course, but I printed out two examples. I'm going to bring them up on screen while I put my glasses on to be able to see properly. And one of them roles I matched her to is a customer service representative. Now, when I say match is because with the PXT Select, we create a performance model specifically for the job. And as you can see in this graph, the shaded area represents the performance model, and the MA represents the initials of the person that completed this. So there's three sections to match the person: thinking style, behavioral traits, and interests. And overall, this person for customer service representative is an 87% match. 78% in thinking style, behavioral traits, very strong, 95%, and interests as well, so is 90%. When we look at these three sections, thinking style will answer the question, can the person do the job? Behavioral traits will answer the question, how will they perform the job? And the interest area, it will answer the question, will they do the job? Because you need to enjoy what you're doing, the tasks associated with the role. We've all experienced that. Some things we like in our jobs, some things we don't like, but we need to like more of what we need to do on a daily basis to be able to perform well in the job. Otherwise, we become demotivated and uninterested. So it's very important to understand that. Now, I also matched this person to a customer service manager as if they were being promoted to a manager role. So let's take a look at that. So the overall fit falls to 80% from 87. Same fit or a little bit lower for thinking style, 75 instead of 80. I'm showing these both on screen at the same time so you can compare. And you could see in the behavioral traits, still a 93% match. So she will perform the job well from this, used on paper. There is a less of a fit on the assertiveness scale because in the customer service rep job, the assertiveness scale is much lower. It goes from 3 to about a 6, whereas on the manager side, it goes from a 5 to a 9 or an 8. I think that's a 9, yeah. So she's just outside, which means what is the consequence of a lower than required assertiveness for a manager? Well, this person may avoid taking people to task, as is often said, or confronting people when needed to address performance issues. So it's not a strength of that person, it would be a challenge. And that could be significant. But overall, it's a good fit also in behavioral traits for the manager role. But look at the interest section. It goes from 90% for representative role to 62%. So the way the interest area works is that there's 3 out of the 6 interest areas that are recommended or needed to have for the role. So for the representative role, the performance model looks for enterprising, people service, and financial administrative. And that person, as you can see, has people service, enterprising as 2 of their top 3. Financial admin is a bit lower down, but overall 90% is quite good. Whereas when compared to the manager, the difference in order for the performance model, the person should have financial admin as their number 1, mechanical as number 2, and people service number 3. So this person only has one of those 3, which brings it down to 62%. So because of that, there may be a challenge in this person being motivated to do the job as required, to be maybe hands-on. So that could be a challenge. Now, I've seen much worse matches than this, both for the primary role and for a manager role. But this is just pointing out what you want to use to make better hiring and promotion decisions. Now, what's also nice about this type of assessment is it'll generate interview questions to help you conduct a more effective interview, and it'll also create training, coaching recommendations for areas of challenge where the person is outside of the performance model. It also provides that in-depth understanding of the person. And when you share this with a person and you discuss the results, you really are able to engage in more important conversations about what they may be facing in the future and how to address that and how to coach them. So it's important to use today all resources when promoting or hiring somebody to a manager role, actually to any position, but especially a manager, because that person is responsible for the performance of a department and dealing with all the challenges that come with it. And that's where providing the right training as a foundation. I kind of look at it as if you're building a home, you want to put the right foundation for where that home is going to be built, what are the potential dangers, risks, tornadoes, or whatever. And if you don't have the right foundation, it's not going to survive. And I see training and development, first making the right decision, using scientific tools as well as your own judgment is really important. But also then providing the right training as the foundation for the person to build on. And this will help them navigate any challenges and help you understand them better as well. So I hope this makes sense to you and you'll make decisions to provide management training and also look into using tools like the PXT Select. We do offer free trial runs of this. A demo will help you create a performance model, do a trial run for free if it interests you. But you do need to contact me and engage with me. There's a link where you can request it. And if you want to complete this before you do, make sure you book a meeting with me through that link. So if you haven't already subscribed, do so now. Turn on notifications to get news of new videos. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.